The man in charge of America's public lands wants to sell them off to the highest bidder. All of them. Every single acre. William Perry Pendley is a conservative lawyer and career bureaucrat. Now President Trump has made him head of the Bureau of Land Management. But Pendley doesn't want to manage the land. He believes all federal land should either be sold or given back to the states so they can sell it themselves. That could include opening every public park in America for gas, oil, and coal extraction. Imagine the Grand Canyon filled with oil rigs. That's the world Pendley wants to live in. Pendley has labeled anyone who wants to protect public lands as an environmental extremist. But he's the one who's too extreme. He's written books claiming people who take on environmentalists are heroes. And he's written articles praising ranchers who use violence against the government. Pendley has compared climate change to unicorns. He says the Endangered Species Act is run by a cartel of rich scientists and should be abolished. He led a lawsuit against the Interior Department on behalf of an oil and gas prospector. He criticized the Trump administration for not shrinking more national monuments. Pendley even claims the founding fathers would have wanted us to sell off all our public lands, and that environmentalists have formed an ecoligarchy. And that's just scratching the surface. Picture Yellowstone being strip mined for coal. These are the kinds of policies he advocates for. Pendley claims he is advocating on behalf of the western U.S., where most of the public land is located. But Westerners don't want public lands to be sold. Most people in the West believe public lands should stay public. Year after year, polling shows that Republicans and Democrats alike are in wide agreement that public land should be protected. Over 70% of Westerners believe public lands are for everyone. And almost every Western resident has visited public parks in the last year and plans to visit again. And a majority of Westerners say access to public lands is a factor in choosing where they live. Pendley also seems to have forgotten that public lands generate hundreds of millions of dollars for these states each year, and the average American taxpayer only pays $4 a year to help maintain them. But it's not just about money. This land is part of our cultural heritage. It protects thousands of species that could otherwise go extinct. Public lands even provide drinking water for millions of Americans. And right now, every American has a stake in public lands. The lands belong to all residents, and that's why Pendley's argument falls flat. He wants to take something that belongs to you and give it to fossil fuel corporations. He may disguise his agenda in any way he chooses, but the people have the final say over their heritage. Public lands are not his to sell.